orange, plug it in, put it on the display, boop, in case you want to see it up there. Awesomeness. Yes, y'all have your glasses, and that's great. HDMI 1. Sorry for who, I guess I could edit this, but I'm not that clever. It's way faster to just throw the thing onto YouTube, which is where I've been putting them. Okay, lovely, let's do it. Woohoo! All right, so one of the things you want to think about, let me do the stringer first, then we'll talk twist. Isn't it beautiful? Ooh, it's so great. So, making a stringer. Pick a hand. So again, I've got my glass in my left hand, and I've got my tweezers ready. See the green? That means these are mine. Thank you. The green means it's mine. See all that stuff with the green? Yep. All right. Rotate, 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 rotate. Otherwise, you're not really heating. You're just kind of getting one side hot. Look how fast that's going. See? If I point it up, it'll fold over on itself and make it larger. Makes sense. How big? Depends on what you plan on using your stringer for, right? They are fun to make, but you need to have a reason to make it. This is too skinny, probably, depending. I'm going to try for that, like the one I showed you. So once you've got an evenly heated, little gather, remember you're just going to pinch its butt. So come out of the flame. I like to work above. And give it a second to get a skin. It's easier. Pinch it and then assess. And I wave it up and down. See how I'm pointing it up like this? I'll talk about that in a second. It's really hard to talk about and do. It will probably, yep, slip out of your grip. That's fine. Just grab it and straighten it out. And then let it set for a second. So now I've got a long skinny piece on the end, and that's useful. With my bite right here, my glob, all I have to do is come in here, heat that up, and then pluck it off. Boop. Pull it out, and let the heat do the work for me. Ta-da! Yeah! So this is really fun and useful. Oh, my camera is just not great. Oh well. Okay, so that's a stringer. If you want to watch this, I'm going to pull this guy out again. Right? You could take this and alter it and play with it as a sculptural element. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I like playing with these. See my ones I play with? They're fun. All right. I'm going to pull this out skinnier and longer this time. And that way I can cut it off in the flame and have it loose and free, because you want to see how to do that too. You may not want it on the end of the rod is what I'm saying. All right, there we go, back to baseline. Give it a second. I was a little slow last time. Pinch, pull. You kind of set the diameter. See how I'm waiting? Then I'll go ahead and stretch that out. And that's pretty consistent in its diameter. Yay. Now let it set for a second. Keep it out of the flame, right? The flame's still very hot. And then I like to stand up for this, because if you're going to burn yourself, it's going to be doing this part. Grab it in the middle, right? But these aren't serrated often. They're slippery sometimes. Bring it to the flame. Let the flame break it off. See, no long threads. And then this may swing around on you, which is why I hold it with my wrist up. This will swing over and touch you, or that will swing this way and touch you. So just be aware of that. That's why I stand up. put my hand over it, and it's less likely to defy gravity and come up at me. Yeah, I hope that reads well on the screen. I don't know if it does. Okay, let's do a twist. Woo, woo. All right, I've chosen 2 different colors of glass, both opaque. Think about it this way. The white, super, super squishy, right? And some of the other colors, very, very stiff. They're not gonna behave the same way with the same amount of heat. And so when you've got a really squishy, soft glass, and you're trying to twist it with a really, I'll try to talk and tell you this at the same time, and you're twisting it with a really stiff glass, the soft glass wants to wind around the stiffer glass. So you kind of end up with a lumpy, bumpy thing, which can be useful. I think these are about the same in terms of their stiffness. My hope was that I picked things that looked different in the flame, because the red turns black, as you know, in the flame. So I'm overhand, got my drumsticks, and I'm just taking turns, giving them the better, hotter part of the flame so that I can build my gathers. I want them about the same size. Lily, this is too small. See, it's too small. So now I'm seeing that this blue is a little softer. It's a little bit more to manage. Plus the rod is a smaller diameter. So I'm gonna get my gathers. This is a size that could work, but I'm gonna get a little bit more because it's more fun. I haven't made one of these in a more than 6 months, so y'all don't judge. All right, they're both really good and hot. I can tell by how they're moving. And now we're gonna build that little hamburger. I have no idea if it's gonna show in the video. I sure hope it does. So I'm gonna come to my Marver, which is the graphite paddle, and stack them. And I'm not gonna squish them. I'm going to come to the Marver, keep them balanced, make sure they're, aligned nicely, and just touch them together. And then touch them together. What I don't want to see is you cutting your steak. Shoot, it didn't show in the video. When you cut the steak, I'm gonna keep this warm, is when you embed them and you start doing like that. Make sense? Because if you do that, you're gonna touch the, now I gotta do it on the other side. See, it looks just like my diagram. Now I'm gonna be really careful to keep it right in the center and turn them together. They are not twisting right now. The goal is to heat up this mass into one consistent glob. And you see that I'm kind of gently coaxing them together, not to squish them, but so that I don't lose control at the neck. All right, how are we doing? Pretty good?
It's really ball-shaped.
Yeah, it wants to be round, right? So now it's really, 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 really hot. It's all hot. I can feel that it moves as one thing. I'm gonna give it a test. Yep. Ready? And so then I'm gonna start to stretch it. And I'm being really careful about the neck. And now I can stretch and twist. Keep away from the flame. You don't want to cook the bottom part. This part needs a little more twisting than the other side. You see that? And the more twisting you do, the tighter the pattern will get.
How do you twist like that? My hands don't move like that.
They will. And they have to turn opposite directions. So this one I'm turning vroom, vroom, like a motorcycle, and this one I turn away from me. Now I've got this thing, and I have options, right? I could use the nippers and nip it off. I usually will melt off the right-hand side first. Bing, right? Make it nice and neat. Put that down. Get it out of your way. I stand up. I could use it straight off the rod like this because I made it straight, which is awesome. Hey, you. But I like to take them off and keep them in storage, and I'll make a whole bunch at a time. And then remember, you don't want to melt your hand. Be aware of which way it wants to go, and just let the heat do the work. You guys are now managing your own rods. I don't like to leave that. See that little bit of blue? Because it's still hot, so now's the time to deal with it. And that way, next time I go to use my orange, I'm not going to have that blue sitting on it. And you get to hear that noise, which is super fun. Okay,